Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon Associates and AdSense business for sale in the beauty and cosmetics niche. Created in October 2014, this business makes $1,429 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 45234. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making the buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Hannah, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Fantastic. It's my pleasure having you on here. I'm very excited to discuss this business with you, and there's something really interesting about it that I'm excited to talk about with you. But before we get to the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in October of 2014, has a monthly revenue of $1,434, expenses of $6 to make for a net profit of $1,429, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain and all site content and files. Please note that you must currently have an approved AdSense account before purchasing this business to assure a successful migration of the business. Hannah, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure. So I started building online businesses back in 2012. So it's been around 6 years. This was one of my earlier sites. And I built it when I wasn't still very familiar with keywords, which is why there are still so many avenues like subtopics and keywords to be targeted. And it was just built in a pretty slow month for me where I was looking for new niches to get into. And I was doing a lot of research, mostly in the beauty niche, because I wanted a niche that was pretty void of competition. And this one fit the bill. There were pretty much no websites on it apart from a few small, very small, just affiliate pages. So that's kind of how that got started.
Why have you decided to sell the business today?
Well, as we speak right now, I'm about 37, 38 weeks pregnant. So that has been a huge motivator in my decision to call a lot of my websites. I was like going back and forth throughout the entire pregnancy because obviously I want to keep on doing what I do afterwards. But I just wanted to clean up my collection and just like whittle it down to like the bare basics, at least for a while. And with this website, I have not been able to give it as much love as it deserves, especially within about the past. I mean, it hasn't had much work done on it for the past year and a half, and that's long even for me. So I thought it would be maybe a good chance to try to sell it to someone who had a little more time to be able to work on it.
Well, congrats on the baby on the way. Very exciting.
Thank
And
you.
going back to this business then, something you notice when you look back over the last year is that there was increase in traffic and revenue for the business over the summer months. What happened then?
Sure. That was actually kind of funny. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you, because I didn't do anything during that time. So it might have been. So the last time the website has had a large batch of content added to it was during the spring. So around like March, April of 2017. So I think in part it might just be like, no, that's maybe not true. Hold on. It had a huge batch of content added to it in March and April 2017. And then in about 2, 3 months after that, earnings doubled. And then it just kind of continued to stay kind of around the same until March, April this year, where it went on a very happy upward streak. And I didn't do anything special about it. I'm not sure if it was just like summer traffic, because this beauty and cosmetics niche might perform a little bit better in the summertime. Honestly, like I didn't do anything special to account for that. But I do want to note that Amazon earnings did fall in the summer actually due to a plugin that had gone wonky. And I was so immersed in my pregnancy, I didn't even notice. I didn't catch it for over a month and a half. And that pretty much halved my Amazon earnings those months. But because I had such good AdSense revenue those months, it more than made up for that lost Amazon revenue. So it was a funny couple of months. I'm not sure what caused the AdSense earnings, but I'm pretty happy that happened.
You mentioned the Amazon Associates and the AdSense side of things. Which side of the business brings in more revenue?
It's usually Amazon. Amazon brings in the main chunk, and AdSense just adds a little bit to it usually. But during those months, they almost flipped or went 50-50.
When looking at the business as it currently stands, you told me before that you really haven't put any time in for this business and no content has been added in nearly a year and a half now, as you just said. So what work is being done to maintain this business currently?
For a year and a half, pretty much nothing. So I did nothing except update it, which I do through Manage WP, which is also coincidentally how I didn't notice that that plugin was broken because I didn't even check the site directly. My intention was to because the last content update was in March, April 2017. My intention was to update it again, add another big batch around March, April 2018. But that didn't happen because, I mean, that's when I first learned of the pregnancy, and then I don't know, it was really hectic. So this year I just did not really get to work on it. And then it's funny because now I'm just a couple weeks away from the due date, but it's only recently that things have calmed down and I've managed to, go over my notes, go over my earnings, and go over my keywords and order more articles. So it's really, I'm trying to do that content upgrade now, actually. But for a year and a half, there's pretty much nothing apart from updating plugins.
So where does your primary traffic come from? Would it all be organic from SEO, seeing as you're not doing anything with the business?
Absolutely. It's entirely organic. So, I mean, that is with this site, it would be, I would say niche selection was 10-20% of it. I mean, even now, there are no real competitors to this niche, and content would be another 80% of it. I still have a pretty big spreadsheet full of keywords that I would hope the new buyer takes advantage of.
So what opportunities other than targeting new keywords do you feel are an opportunity for growth for the buyer?
If the writer is better at pretty much everything else than me, which is probably going to be the case because I've done no outreach for the site. I've done no link building. It's just partly because it's not my MO and partly because I haven't had the time. So if someone knows how to do that, knows how to go for backlink opportunities, then I think that would be a really, really good chance to have the site ranking better than it is right now. Also, an email list was an idea I, of course, played around with because this niche constantly has promotional opportunities. And like most beauty niches, I think it has a lot of, what do you call that, impulse buyers. So I always thought that would be a really good idea, but I also never got around to it. So I think that would also be a great idea if the new buyer was interested.
Do you feel like there are any risks to owning this website that a new owner should be aware of?
This website, honestly, I think this has a pretty good future because it's a very simple, straightforward, no muss, no fuss kind of website. And it's also a very wide open niche from, where I'm standing. It just seems like despite being around for, I don't know, 4 years now, it's still, there aren't that many competitors I can point to be like, oh, they're doing something kind of similar, or they even offer the same quality of information. So no, I don't really see any risks. It's not a risque topic matter at all. It hasn't had anything, sketchy or even a bit. It's a very organically built site with organic traffic. I think there's a lot of room for growth and not a lot of downside. So Sorry, I might be a bit biased there.
No, and that definitely makes sense. I mean, another good way to look at this is you haven't put any time or effort into the site for now 18 months, and the business is still churning out over, $1,000 to $2,000 every single month in profit. So, I mean, it seems pretty low risk. I mean, you can't do anything less to it, right? So,
Yeah, it's managed to carry on pretty well. So,
mhm.
mhm.
Hannah, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to be doing much for the next little while anyway.
And how much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
I mean, whatever, the new owner would need, whatever information, whatever I have on the site, right? Anything that would help as long as, the new owner is also willing to be a little bit flexible about maybe me getting back to them in a day or two as opposed to right away.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout?
I could be, but for a website of this size, I would prefer like a one and done type of deal.
Awesome, Hannah. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today. Before I let you go here, you said that you've had a lot of experience with online business and content sites. So what about this one in particular, putting together everything we've spoken about? What about this business makes it a business worth buying?
I think it hits like a sweet spot where it's like it allows the option to be relatively like work free. So it could continue running itself as long as you're willing to do basic maintenance, which I think pretty much any website owner could do. But it also presents quite a lot of opportunity, I think, where it just honestly, like I was struggling with putting this one up for sale as well because I feel like I'm leaving a lot on the table. Like there's still a lot of room for growth with this website. So I think it just has a really good, you could leave it and continue to see profit, or, you could work on it a bit and probably grow it quite a lot. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think to me, I just have to go back to the fact that you've put zero time into this in the last 18 months and it's still performing well. So if someone comes in and is able to put just a little bit of time in to adding new content, maybe branching out into other traffic sources like email and social media, I mean, there's no doubt to me that this business can grow a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hannah, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you, Jake.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.